Are you familiar with the ongoing tension between China and Taiwan, which could potentially escalate into a full-scale war? If not, allow us to be the first to inform you that this is far from a minor issue. It is the potential to wreak havoc on the global economy. This potential conflict, as highlighted by the head of a prominent microchip manufacturer in Taiwan, has the capacity to disrupt the essential semiconductor supply chain on a massive scale, setting us back by decades if it were to occur. You might be wondering about the details of this situation, and that's precisely what we intend to explore in this video. So, without further ado, let's delve into the brewing conflict between China and Taiwan. For those unaware, Taiwan is a remarkable island situated about 1,000 miles off the coast of China and is a significant contributor to the world of technology. It serves as the brains behind many of our sophisticated gadgets, ranging from smartphones and automobiles to artificial intelligence and even fighter jets. Recently, China has been asserting territorial claims over Taiwan, even hinting at the possibility of using military force to seize control of the island. While initially adopting a neutral stance, the United States government, under President Joe Biden, has begun hinting at its willingness to step in to safeguard Taiwan if the situation escalates. The potential disruption of Taiwan's chip manufacturing industry due to a military conflict between China and Taiwan would spell disaster for the global economy. Min Woo, the head of leading Taiwanese chipmaker Macronix, has warned that this could set us back by at least 20 years in terms of technological advancements. Taiwan serves as the world's primary hub for microchips, producing a staggering 60% of the world's semiconductors, including a remarkable 93% of the most advanced ones. While the United States, South Korea, and China also produce semiconductors, Taiwan's dominance in the market, valued at nearly $600 billion last year, is undeniable. These microchips, characterized by nanometer-sized patterns etched onto ultra-thin silicon wafers, represent a masterpiece on a microscopic scale. Min Woo, the visionary between Macronix and Taiwan's leading microchip manufacturer, reflects on the journey of the semiconductor industry. Little did he know that semiconductors would evolve into a game changer and one of the world's most critical industries. Today, this industry stands at the center of escalating tensions between the United States and China, two of the world's economic powerhouses. If you're enjoying our content, by the way, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to stay updated on future developments in the global economy that we bring to your attention. Anyway, recent developments have strained relations between the United States and China, with a looming military conflict adding to the discord. It's worth noting that despite disputes ranging from trade and human rights to Russia's actions in Ukraine, the United States does not officially recognize the government of Taiwan. Nonetheless, it is legally obligated to supply Taiwan with defensive weaponry. Taiwan's semiconductor industry has earned the moniker Silicon Shield, giving the United States and its allies an additional reason to safeguard the island against China's growing threats. Now, let's rewind to the past. Since its establishment in 1949, after a tumultuous civil war, the ruling Communist Party of China has consistently asserted that Taiwan belongs to China. However, Taiwan had different plans, establishing its own government, leading to the long-standing rivalry. President Xi Jinping of China, following the footsteps of his predecessors, has expressed China's desire for a peaceful reunification with Taiwan, but has not ruled out the use of force if deemed necessary. In navigating these tensions between China and Taiwan, the United States has adopted a policy known as strategic ambiguity, deliberately keeping its stance vague and enigmatic regarding its response to a potential Chinese attack on Taiwan. The aim is to deter Beijing from invasion and prevent Taipei from taking provocative steps, such as declaring independence, which could trigger a military response from China. Despite President Biden's apparent departure from his ambiguity, expressing a clear commitment to defend Taiwan if necessary, the White House later clarified that its Taiwan policy remained consistent, supporting the One China policy and adhering to past practices. Even though Taiwan may be small in size, experts like Malcolm Penn, a prominent figure in the British semiconductor industry, wholeheartedly concur over Min Woo's assertion that a war over the island would have catastrophic global consequences. Why? Because it would severely disrupt the global chip supply chain. Malcolm went so far as to suggest that this impact could make the COVID-19 pandemic look like a minor inconvenience, and the ramifications wouldn't be limited to China. They could affect the entire world. In essence, the potential economic fallout from a conflict in the Taiwan Strait would be nothing to scoff at. A staggering $2 trillion at stake. even in a blockade scenario, not to mention the international responses and ripple effects that could come into play. Trade and investment on a global scale would take a substantial hit, impacting nearly every country. Furthermore, these disruptions could occur even if the conflict does not escalate into full-blown warfare. Now, let's delve into China's territorial claims, a significant aspect of this ongoing conflict. According to China, it lays claim to most of the South China Sea, a vital shipping route rich in natural resources. However, this claim lacks recognition in international law. To assert a point, the United States has been dispatching ships and aircraft into the area, prompting Chinese vessels and aircraft to react aggressively, leading to tense encounters. Given this tense situation, the Biden administration expressed a desire to reduce risk in its relationship with China. While trade with China will continue, certain restrictions will be imposed to prevent China from gaining advantages in national security or groundbreaking technologies. In line with this, Biden imposed stringent export controls last year to prevent China from acquiring certain types of semiconductor chips developed using US technology. These controls have had a huge ripple effect worldwide. For example, due to these controls, companies like Macronix can no longer sell their advanced chips to China, their former major trading partner. Naturally, the Chinese government has expressed dissatisfaction with these export controls, characterizing them as abusive trade measures intended to protect US technological dominance. Interestingly, some industry experts share China's viewpoint. The US attempt to control the market may ultimately backfire, as these export controls might delay China's technological process, but won't halt it in the long run. According to Malcolm Penn, it may take a decade, but China possesses the resources, expertise, finances, and market demand to catch up. Not too long ago, Colette Kress, the CFO of American tech giant Nvidia, emphasized at an investor conference that if the US continues to introduce newer restrictions, it will miss out on the countless opportunities to compete and thrive in one of the world's largest markets. However, the United States, which currently produces approximately 10% of the world's semiconductor chips, is striving to bolster its domestic manufacturing capabilities. Initiatives such as significant tax incentives and the construction of a $40 billion factory in Arizona by TSMC are underway. Nevertheless, developing this industry will require time, likely a solid decade or even longer. Ultimately, the fate of the semiconductor industry and our access to the myriad of innovative devices it powers rests in the hands of leaders in China, Taiwan, and the United States. These governments must employ strategic thinking and make wise decisions to navigate this complex situation. For similar content, feel free to look at some of the other clips on your screen. Until then, goodbye.